What better way to start the year out but discussing New Year's resolutions? And no, we will not be talking about how you're gonna achieve a six-pack by summer 24, and we will definitely not discuss how to keep up the motivation in the gym. I'm also not gonna discuss how to improve your finances or achieve any other personal goal. No, I'm sorry, you've come to the wrong place. We're gonna discuss interior design New Year's resolutions, because I think that we all, you and me and everyone we know, deserve to live in homes where we feel comfortable and happy and relaxed. You know, 2024 is a year to relax, honestly. It's a year we're all gonna ace our home decor situation. Your home is gonna scream style and perfection that's suitable for your taste. If we look at New Year's resolutions as an overall kind of idea, the whole point is to improve your life in some way or another. So I've gathered 10 little suggestions to improve the overall health of your home. Start saving inspiration. I feel like people have said this before, you know, use a Pinterest board and la la la, but then I will have to actively go in and look for it. And a lot of times when I do feel inspired, it's more in the moment. Specifically on Instagram, I get a lot of inspiration. I use my Instagram to also share a lot of inspiration, you know, my stories and stuff. Go follow. And one of the most convenient things that I do for myself is that I have a folder. You know, you just go into your Instagram and create a folder and start saving any post with interior design or furniture that you really like. Even though you might not know in the moment exactly what it is that you're finding inspiring or what you think is super interesting or appealing with that particular photo or video, over time, if you keep saving the things that you think is freaking cool, you will be able to pick up certain common denominators. Is that the right word? You know, you will see the commonalities within the different pictures and videos, which will help you determine what your taste is. And so the day that you're gonna try and assemble a room or your first apartment or whatever place that you're designing, if you're unsure where to start, going through a folder where there's a lot of things that's reappearing can help you determine your style. Declutter and organize. Now I know it's freaking boring, you know, I get it, but at the end of the day, this is a year where you're gonna get organized. You're gonna figure out all of the things that you own, and you're gonna go through it all, and you're gonna get rid of the things that no longer serves a purpose or that you don't need or that you maybe have multiple items of. Like the whole Marie Kondo, yes. I'm not saying that you need to go and become a minimalist. That's not what I'm saying. What do you have? What are the things that you have? What are the things that you don't need, and what are the things that you do need? And if you don't know what's piled up in some sort of storage room somewhere or behind like the multiple closets of shit that you keep laying around, you probably buy stuff that you already have. You need to figure out what you own. You know, you can't enjoy something you don't know that you have. And the best way to go about it is to only take one room at the time. Remember, you have a whole freaking year. After you've decluttered and you've gotten organized, it leads us on to number 3. Sell it, don't throw it away. You have no idea just how much money is laying around in your house. In your house, in your home. A lot of times we have things that is in perfect condition, but you might just give things away all the time, or maybe you throw things away, which is not very good, by the way. You should never really throw anything that can either be recycled, given to someone, or sold for dollars. And so after you've decluttered everything and you've made a pile of perfectly fine things that you no longer want, list them online and make money from it. Now that you've decluttered, you realize you need something. I don't know what it is that you need specifically, but there is probably one thing that you need. I think that 2024 is a year where you will invest in one great item. Hear me out. The year is long. You can start saving now and have an awesome chair by August. The point is, if you keep buying cheap furniture, fast furniture particularly, Over time, you will swap them out quite frequently because they either break or they were trendy and they're no longer trendy. If you can invest in one really good item, that's gonna cost you a little bit, but it will feel more special. One, because you invested in it, and two, because you will probably have chosen it more carefully than if you just bought something cheap. You don't need to have all fancy, expensive things, but you also shouldn't have all cheap things. This is the ideal situation. I recognize that people's financial situations are different, but I think that if you love interior design, 2024 is a year where you allow yourself to invest in one really good piece. Get serious about thrifting. Now, I have just preached getting quality items, getting one great fancy whatever. Well, the thing is, if you get serious about thrifting, you can have all the designer items that you want at a fraction of the price that it's sold in retail. You can get vintage pieces that nobody else has, and if you really get serious about thrifting, I personally don't feel bad about changing up the things in my home. Well, all our furniture has been bought secondhand. So if it's already kind of circulating in the secondhand market, if I do want to sell it at one point, I know that my initial purchase didn't put pressure on the environment in terms of making it. And so it's promoting a circular economy in which you can kind of shop a little bit more with a bit of a better conscience, in my humble opinion. Well, thrifting to me is the most fun thing about this whole list. Let's leave buying new furniture back in 2023. We don't need it anymore because thrifting is the ultimate goal and also much more fun. Upgrade your light fixtures. Not only your lighting fixtures, actually just take your lighting a little bit more seriously. We're done with the co-lighting, we're done with the overhead lighting, and we're all about vintage lamps, warm light bulbs, and different levels of lighting so that the ambience of your home becomes a little bit better. If you can introduce dimmers, dim that shit. And also lamps, I am a sucker for good lamps, I'm a sucker for vintage lamps, but basically if you want to kind of, I don't know, put a few of these resolutions together, spend some time and money finding the one particular lamp that you would like. So you invest in one great item, the lamp. You get serious about thrifting, so you make sure that the lamp is secondhand or thrifted or vintage, or whether you buy it online or in a thrift shop, doesn't matter as long as it's had an owner before you. And then get a warm light bulb. That's 3 resolutions in one. So honestly, go get yourself a lamp. Experiment with color and patterns. Like me, for example, I mostly wear black. I probably should make a resolution to add more color to my wardrobe, but instead I have color in my home. And you can add color by rotating your textiles in terms of like your throw blankets, pillowcases. If you want to get a little bit more serious, you could try painting a wall, a smaller room, paint your hallway. I painted my hallway green, and I do not regret it. I actually really like it. You could try accent walls, you could try wallpaper. Great way to try some, what's it called? Pattern. You don't have to paint the walls, you can paint the ceiling, which I'm kind of obsessed with. You could upholster an old piece of furniture that you find in a thrift shop for cheap, upholster it with some fun fabric, whether that be fun color or fun patterns. So if you're like me and a little bit afraid of color, 2024 is the year to try it. Personalize with artwork. Now this is another great way of getting color into your home, but whatever you do, don't buy the freaking Matisse poster. Everyone has it. If you already have it, I'm not throwing shade at you, it's fine. Don't feel bad. But if you are buying art or a poster for the first time, try to be slightly more original. Try to get something that you haven't seen on Instagram 50,000 times. Just a thought. Other ways to get art is the thrift shops. Frame your children's masterpieces, put them in a funky frame with a fun little passepartout. Frame pictures. You know, there's lots of ways of putting art up, but the baseline is if your walls are white, you need to put something on there. Make a resolution of investing in quality storage. Now, I dream of having great storage, and this kind of plays into resolution number 2 of decluttering and organizing, and also 4 of investing in a great item. So investing in quality storage could mean a lot of things. Like, this can still obviously be done secondhand. Some might choose to buy completely new things in terms of a guarantee. It doesn't have to be expensive, but I guess investing in quality storage does entail a bit of an expense. If you're like handy and you know how to build something, you should do that. But definitely playing into the whole getting organized and decluttering, it does require some sort of an organizational storage facility in your home. So whatever that means for you, go get it. And then the final resolution to top off 2024 is to introduce Indora Plants. It is your task to make at least one plant survive the whole year. That's my final say in this list, to make a plant survive 2024. And hopefully 2025 as well, you know, like go all in, make sure that baby lives. You know, if a plant can thrive, you can thrive. Someone said that there should be bigger consequences not to fulfill New Year's resolutions. And even though these resolutions aren't particularly, you know, maybe all that mind-blowing, there will of course be consequences not to complete them. At the end of 24, you might have a cluttered home, which is poorly lit, terrible organizational storage areas, and only fast trending furniture that break within 2025. So you do with that as you please. But if you do find any of these tips useful, please feel free to use them as your own resolutions. With that being said, thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you so much for just, you know, watching the video. Yeah, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you next time.